Hello, everybody. This is Miss T. So today I kind of an unusual request. So we were doing a rhinestone class and had a lady that wanted to get something done, and she only wanted the rhinestones as a single line of text. As you know, you can go on to different sites and find text and pay for it. I don't, because I don't do rhinestones enough to go online and pay for it, and I have Coreldraw, so I don't really want to buy a plug-in, software or anything like that. Spend 300-400 bucks to do something that I'm only gonna use, a couple of times, and I don't want to go and buy rhinestone templates. Period. So I want to figure out how to do it myself. So this is the design that we have. Well, wording that we have. Let's start with Angel. So of course, if you've got a block design, it's very easy to do a rhinestone design. We're gonna do a couple of things. Let's start here. And I'm just gonna go with Angel. And let's do just a typical rhinestone design. Sorry, y'all. I'm having some technical issues. Okay, there we go. Got it all. So if you're new to the rhinestone world and you just want to do a design well, let's go with something like bride. How about let's do bride instead of that? I'd like to kind of switch it up a little bit. And for this bride, we're just going to do an Arial bold. So a bunch of times you see stuff like this. This is going to be probably one of the easiest ways to do rhinestones. So let's say you size it to fit. I want this bride to be, okay, about 9 inches. Will be good. So let's just put this other stuff over to the side for a quick second. So here I am, and I have the word bride. I'm working with 16 millimeter, 16 SS stones. What you want to do is you want to click on your ellipse tool, and at the same time hold down your control key and go over and make a circle. Sorry. Hold down the control key and make a circle. This will let you make a perfectly round circle. So I'm just going to make a circle. I'm going to hit control, and while I'm holding down control, I'm going to hit D. It's going to duplicate my circle. And before I duplicate that, I'm sorry, let me go ahead and delete that. Let's go back and hit on that circle, and I know that a 16 SS stone is equal to a 4 millimeter stone. You can go on Google and just type in 16 SS stone, or how many millimeters is a 16 SS stone, or how many millimeters is a 10 SS stone, or you can get it from your local rhinestone distributor. But I know it's a 4 millimeter stone, and I want to do 4.3 millimeters because I want the holes to be just a little bit larger than what I want. So in Coreldraw, you want to type into this box 14.3 mm. Make sure that this lock button is on. And then once you type it in there, just hit enter. That'll change your sizing from inches to millimeters. Okay. I'm going to zoom in on this. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Don't need to zoom in that much. Okay. So now I'm going to select that stone, and I'm going to hit Control D. And that's going to duplicate it. I'm going to sit one over to the side. I'm going to go down here. Find your blend tool. Select your blend tool, go from one stone to the other. There. Now you want to go up to the top to path properties. Once you get to path properties, you want to select path properties. You want a new path. Go here to the wording that you want to trace. It'll put the stones there. We're not done though. We're going to go here and we want it to blend along the whole path. What that just did, that just blended those stones along our whole path. Now, we have only 20 stones, so we want to do, maybe for this, let's try 200 stones. So now I've got 200 stones in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select on my image and go in and do it like this, right click it and just do an outline. And what I'm looking for is I don't want anything touching, so I'm going to go here, I'm going to select it, I'm going to break apart the blend up, and let's see, sometimes I can get it and sometimes I can't, so I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to hit ungroup objects. Okay, now I've got this in the background. I just raised it up to show you. Select it and then I'm just going to go ahead and lock it. So as I'm selecting stuff, I don't touch it. So I've got that. I'm just going to go around and look at this B. I want to make sure that nothing's touching, and if it is, I'm just going to move the stones over a little bit. So it's pretty good. Usually I would go in here and put, I'm not going to do it to all of them, but I like sharp corners. I'm going to hit Control D and add another stone and see if I can fit that stone in there. And looks like I can. So I would go down and do the same thing to this area here, to my B. You're just going to keep going in, sizing, moving those stones until you get them all to where you want them. I'm going to hit Control D again to duplicate that stone. Go down, put it in. Just come on down. Let's bring this one down because I want that nice square line. And you may not want your line square. So I would continue to go through this process until I got all of my stones where I wanted them. And again here, I'm probably going to add a stone in on this corner and like kind of push these stones up until I'm happy. Let's just keep moving stones. I'm going to do Control D and put another stone here. Let's see. Move this stone up, move this one up, move this one up. And you don't have to do all of this, as long as you make sure they're not touching, you'll be okay. But if you want to kind of go in and kind of crispen up the design. Is that a word? Well, I just created a word if it's not. So we're going to hit Control D. Add one more stone. I would like to make 3 stones and 4 stones here, but it's going to be a little tight for this size stone. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to delete that, and I'm not going to do it here. But what I'll do is I'll just kind of bring that in, and that'll be perfect. So up in this area where I have this eye at, I definitely want to go in and make this square or round, and I'm just going to follow the path that we've already got going here to do this with. 1 second, folks. I'm going to turn my volume down on my phone. Okay, so we're going to go in and kind of even that up. I'm going to duplicate this, Control D again, and put this stone here and go around. I kind of do these videos while I'm at work, so they're not, professional videos or anything like that, although I am a professional. But, at least I can kind of help a few people out with stuff. So here we would do the same thing. I would just come in and square that. Like I said, you want your stones to hit each corner. And let's do a duplicate here. Sometimes it takes you a little while, but the thing about it is, once you've gotten this template, you're going to have this template forever. You can charge your customers, to create these templates. And unless you're doing just a substantial amount of rhinestones, you don't want to have to go in and, buy a rhinestone template to do 1 or 2 stone designs a month. So let's just go in and do that. So you should have the idea of this. You would just go in and do all of this until you had everything perfect the way that you wanted it. And then you would just delete that object in the background that I locked. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to unlock all objects, and I'm going to just delete this. Let's go in and put this in a pink. So you see, you could kind of tell that what you would have here. I may want to take these stones, bring them up a little bit. There we go. You can kind of take this D and kind of do that. I would square that off. You see how those are squared off and this area here isn't squared off, so that's the difference. On that E, I would bring my E in and make sure that you can really tell that that's what that's supposed to be. There we go. So now we're pretty much done. If I was doing this for a customer, I would go in and square this off. So that's the first way. You've got 2 rows of rhinestones. But what if you wanted 1 row of rhinestones? I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it over to the side. So let's try to do that on something like this with this angel design. And I'm going to just take that rhinestone and copy it over here by hitting Control D, duplicate it, and come over here, and then I'm going to duplicate it one more time. Oh, I guess I didn't duplicate it one more time. There we go. Okay. So I did that time. Okay. Now, what I want you to see is that I'm going to take this and view this in wire form and show you why this isn't going to work. The rhinestone path is going to try to go along this path, and it's going to end up creating double stones, which is not going to be good. But we're going to do it just to show you how it's going to look, and then I'm going to show you what you need to do to fix that. So let's create this the size that we want it to be, and I want that to be about 10 inches. So we've got our 2 stones, and the stones are already sized because we're just using the same stones as we used over there. We're going to go back to the blend tool, select one stone and blend to the other stone, go up to path, new path, and put it on the angel. Let's go over here, hit blend along path. So that's going to blend this down along this path. Now, let's increase this to about 200 stones. 200 seems to be my favorite number. And it's not really too bad. But you see what you have here? You've got duplicates, which is fine if that's what you want. You could go in, ungroup this, and take off the areas that you didn't want, and you would still have a nice, a nice design. But I don't have time for that. So, and let me show you what it would look like. Let me just break it apart. Let's see if we can break that blend apart and just move it. Now see, you could go in and take a lot of time and kind of clean this up, but I don't want to do that. So what I want to do, let's just go back. Hit back button one more time. Okay. And let's kind of bring this down. Okay. Let's go back one more time. And let's delete that. Well, let's just go back one more time. Now we still got those two. What I want to do is I want to make this one line so that I can easily do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this font and I'm going to go to bitmap. I'm going to convert the font to a black and white bitmap. So I converted it to a black and white bitmap. Now I want to go in and I want to do a trace. But I do not want to do a line trace. I'm going to show you what will happen if I do a line trace. I'm going to still have the same issue. So if you import a bitmap image or bitmap font and you do a regular line trace, you're not going to get what you want because you're still going to have that double outline. So we've got to do something about it. This is going to take too long. Well, there it goes. Let's see. Let's give it a couple of seconds and see what it does. Ew, that's terrible, terrible. Okay. I'm going to go back and cancel that. Sometimes I'll do that. Let's go back and trace it again as line art. And this time I'm going to remove the background and do all of this stuff here. And let's see what we get. I don't know why sometimes you'll do a trace and sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't. You have to go back in and play with it and do different things. I go through this all the time. It takes a couple of seconds for it to go in and give us what we want. And she's working. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. It's a little cold here in Texas today. It's probably about 30 degrees outside, so I'm pretty cold in here in my shop. Okay, so that time we got it. And you see, just by going in and editing those settings, you can get what you want in a good trace in Corel. Yep. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. So now I've got that, and I'm going to just show you. So if we go in and we just view this in wire format, we've still got the same thing. So we didn't do anything. So what do we do about that? Easy fix. Let's go here. And let's go. Oh, I didn't mean to open that up. Okay, so we're going to have to wait a second and go back and close it. This video, I promise you, is going to be worth waiting for.